Well, let's make it back to home. Drop off some stuff. Didn't get a whole lot. I might grab some of these canned goods along the way. We'll get a good night's sleep for the morning, do some morning exercise again. Pretty much just like 10-hour wounds and stuff. There's the fatigue kicking in finally. From yesterday morning's workout. So quite okay timing heading back. I think I'll forego the canned stuff for a moment longer. And these are houses I'm kind of interested in. But where's my home? I'll admit it. I wasn't paying attention to where I was going. I just took off running. Ah. This is the furniture store. Okay. I might know where I am. But hey, like normal houses up there though. Well, normal-ish. I think I want to see about moving into one of those. Ideally with a car, but if I have to do it on foot, that's okay too. It puts us in a pretty okay spot near the center-ish, I imagine, of city. Come on, I'm fatigued. I can't do this. Don't really want to cut through the woods. I think my house is over here though. Well, no, when we see the water bucket. Yeah, there's the garage. I think I'm the next street over though. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, kind of just screen left is where we want to be going for a little decent bit if we want to move to one of those high fence houses. Which, I think I'd like to do. Maybe not today. I think I'm just going to be live for another half hour or so. But generally out there, because I'm not a fan of this area. It's just a bit, yeah, I don't know. It's a shitty part of town, I guess. We'll leave it at that. I don't know if the griddle pan can be used for any unique recipes or if that's just a weapon. Don't know. Would like to think it could be used as like a frying pan. Would make sense to me. And hey, once we move house into somewhere nice, we can start decorating it and making it feel, you know, like a house. Actually, put the like CDs down on the ground and all that. I like doing that. Yeah, pain from the fatigue. The bandages aren't being soaked through with blood, so that's a good sign. I think we might be okay as far as that goes. There weren't like super deep wounds or anything. Yeah, dead rat. That it? I think that's it. Guess lug wrench can go in. duffel bag I can probably leave on the ground, and that can be like another little storage for us. Or I guess also up on the shelf kind of works out. Could be nice. Because I could also just directly access that. It's not super great, but something. We can put some of our miscellaneous bits in that too. You know what's gonna happen? We're gonna head out probably to a new house. We'll be like just finishing moving, and then the helicopter will happen. Calling it now. Throw that in there too, why not? So exercise is out because we're super tired already. We're in pain and sweating and it's all terrible. So we're just gonna go ahead and sleep. Maybe do a bit of morning exercise though. Was that a gunshot I heard? Or did something break? I think that was just a gunshot. Forearm wound is gone. You know, just a gunshot. Yeah, it's that part of town. Ooh. Am I able to move now, actually? Let's forego doing that for now. Let's head over there, though, and take a peek at what we've got. I'll do a bit of exercise first off. Otherwise, I'm gonna probably forget. Oh yeah, and these things can also... I don't need this. And the dirty bandage. Get that out of here. That all seems fine. We good? I never know if the TV's on, it's facing the wrong way. So what, we're doing burpees, I think, right? All over pain. For a while. Okay. A little more. Oh. We're almost past the U in regularity now. We're getting there. Takes a while to improve. That's okay though. I don't think it should take like no time at all. It should be something that you gotta commit with for a while, I reckon. And then a corn dog. Delicious. Corn dog, sit on the couch a little bit, rest up. We're gonna head out to the high fence houses that I saw before that I'm interested in moving into. We'll see about clearing it out a little bit and finding a prospective house, and also figure out how exactly to get there, because I just know the general area of it. And then tomorrow we can see about moving over there. Cooking show. Oh. Kitten knives, fine American cookware. Today, we're getting a taste of Asia with a frying pan. Now, minding you don't cut yourself with this. Super sharp kitten knife. Oh. Cut your pork into pieces and throw it into fry. Then add some fresh vegetables. I'm using an onion to start, then bell pepper and eggplant. If you're hungry, then try it out with some noodles. Whoa. See, cooking can be fun and easy. And it's always healthy. Well, it's not always healthy. Come on. Puts a smile on your face and... bam! A spring in your step too. Now you have a great day. Oh, what a show. I think I've been missing like every cooking show thus far. Every single one of them. So let's try if we hit the road and we take a left up here and we follow that down for a bit. I think that might lead us around to where we're after. Like there's some of the high fence there, but I don't think that relates to the houses. We could jump over the fence and see what's over there, I suppose. What's the chances of bumping into a zombie over there? Pretty good, I know, but let's do it anyway. I have no idea what this is. It's like a walled-off forest preserve or something. It's a bit strange. Don't like it. And yeah, this is it. That's not that far away at all. It's kitty corner. Or maybe catty corner, if you prefer. You'd be wrong, though. Kitty corner is correct. But to each their own, I suppose. Denim shirt? Sure. What's that replace the police shirt? Nothing. It's just yet another layer. Okay. What the hell? Alright. Look, something's got to get off, I think. We're gonna be so heavy. We're gonna just constantly... We're gonna just be constantly sweating all the time. Holy Jesus. Next. Why is the living room tiled? Sounds like there's a few in there. Yep. He might have been my coworker, that guy. Look, he's also got the fitness uniform. That swing, by the way, that we did, that's sort of overhead swing. It's always slower than I expect it to be. I think that might just be how it is. Sergeant Cliff with the idea. Frickin' moron also had an ad. I'll do it. Let me finish clearing this out first. Dude, everything's tiled here, and the window's already broken. I don't think this... Two windows are broken. Oh no, that one I... God damn it. That one I came through. Or opened for them. She almost got me again. Quit breaking the window! I'm not using this house anyway. Okay. Damn it. There's so many of them here. I might have to put their hearing back down to low as well. It's just a massive conveyor belt slash tissue box of dudes. The Depth of Your Love by Donnie Mason. I've got it. Oh hey. I should probably put that on my back and fanny pack back. I always forget that he takes his stuff off when we do exercise. Okay. I'll run the ads that have been redeemed. Frickin' Moron redeemed a bit before as well. I'll actually take a quick break, a little restroom break, refresh my water a bit. When I come back, I'll continue looting these and seeing which one I want to live in. Surely one of these are decent, right? Must be. We killed a lot here. Like, that might be a decent amount in the basic area. I'll be right back, though. Give me, like, 3 minutes. Quick break. Fast break. So, not this house. I will loot and pillage this house, though. But not this house. Too much is broken. It's seen too much. Hey, kitchen knife. We can do real cooking now. I think we have everything. Yeah, a real artist with my MS Paint stuff. Oh. To be fair, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to pull off doing a unicycle anyway. I thought, ah shit, maybe I have to go with the rock after all, the Sarah rock. Same run as like 2 hours ago. 3 days, 1 hour. So could be the fitness instructor, I think. The fitness instructor that started out in the middle of the woods. We're looking for a new home, but like so many of these houses have a shitload in them, apparently. This area of town is just swarming. The sleeper system is really... 7 Days to Die has infested this game, and the sleeper system is very strong. Want it? Close the door. Well, okay, that's it. Well, today's cursed. It's not a good day. It's just not a good day. Maybe it's PKCG, maybe it's you. I don't know, man. Ah, shit. Well. Let's see about... Now, you know what I can do, though, real quick? Let me, let me launch this in debug mode. Actually, let's, because it shouldn't take too long. Let's see about getting, at the end of the stream here, a urban-focused population setup, because I think the uniform is, like, I generally like it. But I think the uniform distribution is really screwing me here. You can blame me, but don't be mad. No, I'm not mad at sight. I don't mind if your existence kills off all of my characters. That just is what it is. There we are. Bedford Falls. I want to see about urban focus, but then I gotta bump up the multiplier a decent bit. Because uniform, I don't know, like, when you have the population start multiplier, you would think, oh, it's the population, and it's just like, are they more in the city area, or are they more out and about? But because of the way the cells work, one cell isn't really looking at both urban and rural, so it kind of just affects the overall population and how it distributes. So if you have a uniform distribution, it's more of the normal zombie count that you would expect. But if you have urban focused, then the rural areas will have like an additional secret multiplier attached to it. So you kind of get deadish areas out and about. because it just can't find, I guess, as many spawn points for them or something. I don't know. We'll say like 0.8 and then 1.65's like doubled maybe by day 42. Seems a bit high. But maybe. Respawn hours, yeah, sure. All that might be okay. Urban. Because that was getting a bit nuts out and about when we started like in the forest and they're everywhere out there. That was maybe a little too much. Ah, your name is really player killer cursing game. Ah, that explains it, PKCG. I was always wondering. Yeah. So. Let's turn into Spooky Ninja Ghost. Whoa, and Zombie Pop. What do we got here? How are we doing? What are we doing? The Riddler House? Yeah, I don't know what those are exactly. It's a debug mode thing, though. So we are... It looks to be a residential area. Is where we are now. Obviously our starter area being a bit clear and nice. This house decided to populate. It's a diner, that's okay. It didn't populate with a shitload, it's manageable. The street's looking kind of clear and empty. Oh, a zombie there. One there. A third one here that probably would have gotten pulled. A few up here. It's a little quiet, but I think it might be doable. But with uniform distribution, you just get so many more zombies around. So it's a lot easier to be like, oh yeah, this is enough. And I got them moving around a bunch because of, I think that's them trying to find a rally partner or something like that. But they're so slow, they never really make it in time, and I think it kind of gives up. Until they find like a closer partner. This could be okay, though. It's not a shitload of Zeds. I might bump it up another notch, though. Bump it up another notch. Well, I don't want to... Well, okay. Yeah, a vanilla map... If I really struggle to find a nice balance, I'll go with a native map. That's fine. I kind of know all of them. I think West Point I don't really know too terribly well. It's been long enough. Maybe Muldraw. Well, like Riverside and Rosewood, I know these pretty well, I think. And I'd like to play one that I don't know. So I definitely want to load up the one that I don't know to test. Just say straight up just 1, then 1.65. I'd rather test this on a map that I plan on playing, basically. But yeah, worst case, it could go to the vanilla ones, because the way that the vanilla maps are done are different than the way the community maps are done. It's just the people who make these maps, there's some things that they're doing that I don't think the base game does to such an extent. The big one being the buildings that populate with zombies. The ones that just kind of have a bunch in them all the time because I want it to be a big hectic thing. Project Zomboid Vanilla does this, but it does it with things like the mall and the penitentiary, where the building itself is the zone. So like we got a string of buildings here that we'd be able to very easily loot. The area off behind is just the woods back there, so that's clear. Nothing at all back there. And then we'd have Like, dude, probably fight him just normally. This house just filled. Like, these types of buildings, I'm pretty sure the number that's in them is looking at just the global population that I've got set, the 1.0 that I set. And Raven Creek has so many zombies that spawned in. It's insane. That's already a shitload. That's like, whoa, we're not going in there. I don't know what they were doing in there. And like, this building's got it too. So many. But like, if we can't loot the building, then I guess we can't loot the building. You just gotta be ready for when like a really loud sound happens and they get pulled through. The helicopter event might pull them out and get it a bit wild. But like, a lot of the streets are still fairly empty, and that's why I like the uniform, but the uniform just got to be so much. There's so many in the trees. I don't know why there's so many buildings that are like this though. Like, why are community maps like this? They're like, no, I want it to be difficult. And they just do this thinking it's clever, but it fucks with things. Because we're currently rocking 571 Zeds out of the 399 that it wants, and I haven't even scouted all the buildings. And it's not just an old map thing. This aspect, I think it's just an overlooked game mechanic that mod makers haven't really done much with. Because if I kill things on the street now, the game's not going to respawn them because we're well over the goal population. It wants 399. We're currently at 604. Probably one of these buildings is going to have a ton of dudes in it too. That's just like the sort of semi-scripted indoor zombie, whatever it is. I did a whole spiel about it at the beginning of yesterday's stream if you're interested in like the details and stuff and what I'm looking at here, but it was so extreme with Raven Creek that Raven Creek is just not a city that you can live in. And it turns out it's kind of bad here. I didn't realize it was so bad. Out toward the penitentiary. Well, this is toward the penitentiary. Shit. Alright, I was gonna say out toward the penitentiary. I never had many buildings like this, but... oof. So the current verdict is... we're heading toward double population. So if I were to clear out the dudes on the streets, we wouldn't really get a response at all. And that's a problem. Because I don't want to just be going through and have a street cleared and nothing ever respawns and it's just always safe. I don't really want to have the feeling of locked down and safe. But to get them to respawn, I'd have to handle these groups inside. But the groups inside are really big groups that I don't know if I can handle, especially early on. Like if you get the really good, like a nice just weapon skill, like rank 5 or 6 or so, you could probably one-shot the majority of them and just kind of coast through. And it wouldn't be much of a problem. 680 out of 399. And then this is apparently like kind of a major city tile. How wild does this get? 696 out of 652. Yeah, this is in debug mode. Yummy. I'm trying not to look at the city really itself because I don't want to memorize anything about it. I'm focusing pretty much solely up here using peripherals to navigate around cars right now. Really just looking for the big yellow dot pop-ins. Mostly just seeing if I'm okay with the population, what it's currently set to with urban focus. But I'm noticing these interior Z populations are the thing that made Raven Creek a bit unplayable for what I want to do. And still somewhat doable here, but man, it's really pushing it. I wonder how it would be if I did... I think I bumped the mic. Apologies for that. What if we had a low starting population? If it's looking at the starting population, and I were to say that I want population peak day to be like 3. Or no, we'll go with like 5. Well, no, 3. We'll say the population start then is like 0.4. So if it's looking at that when it determines how many are inside the building, then it should be manageable. But then very quickly we get up to the value that I really actually want, 1.0. With that the way it is though, we have to make sure the respawn is pretty good. I'll give it another nudge. Otherwise the respawns will never catch up to the population that it wants. So now what I'll do is I want to run around quick and see what the interior Zeds are like now. And then I want to restart, wait a few days, and see how it compares. I'm thinking it's going to be looking at the... looking at the current population that it wants to have, rather than just simply that one variable. But maybe. Because this is going to be a bit quiet overall. Like, this is looking okay, but this is also, like, kind of sort of the heart of the city, I think. This is sort of the busy section. A lot, but that's a quite tall building. I think I want to be at kind of the same-ish area. Bring me over here. The green line, I think, is the a really rough calculation route for Zeds wandering in off map to come on in. It's a way that it spawns them, I think. I'm not fully certain. Usually you see the green line when it decides to spawn Zeds. Like if I were to clear zombies there and I do a spawn now, you see it zap around like that and it kind of lightning bolts them in. So that's generally what that's relating to, and it usually follows some sort of a path when you see it pop up normally. I think it's just like off the map or across the map. Trying to figure out how it can route. Just like 3 there, like that's totally fine if it's just like a couple, like 3 or 4, that's nothing. This building's a little hot. But still doable. I could easily handle that early on. It would be a little bit stressy, but we could handle that. With dudes being pulled in from the sides. This building as well. Yeah, pretty much the same deal. This is 2 stories. I mean, that's quite busy. That's one I don't think we'd be able to handle straight away. After a bit of practice, sure. This fucking building as well. It's like every building over here. It's ridiculous. It's like a ham-fisted way to enforce having zombies around. It's still a pretty good amount, though. Yeah, that's a loot distribution thing there, that Lua switch. That's if you're using a newer version. Project Zomboid has changed the way that they have loot spawn, and nowadays it's more akin to what the building itself is. So you don't have just, oh, it's a crate, it could have a hammer in it. Nowadays it could be a crate that's in a grocery store and it's got just cabbages in it. So, was looking, okay, these buildings scare me a little bit. Let's go for a more aggressive check. Let's bring the star population down a lot and see how that goes. Point 1. It'll be basically none. And if it still spawns a good like 6 or 7 inside of the building, then that's just straight up like a scripted number that it brings in. And I don't know if there's a way that I can configure that without having to go into the mod and adjust it myself, which I don't know how to do. Oof. What population are you wanting? 155. Honestly, once you get guns, a lot of areas become drag and tags, especially with a good car. If you look at this from the perspective that you're not actually spawning there, suddenly those big houses flooded with Zeds makes sense. I'm not spawning there all the time, but I do spawn really nearby these buildings. Like, most of these are just my neighbors. Like, the houses down here, like, I started here, I think it was. It'd be just, I'm going around, open a door, and oh god, there's like 30 Zeds in there. Jesus. Okay, I'm thinking it's a bit independent of what I want the population to be. Door unlock. Hello? Door unlock? Ah. Is it the same houses every time, too? I feel like it's the same houses every time. Like, they're just set to be nasty houses. But it's a good amount in there. Very weird. If it's this many at point 1, there's no setting that would bring it down. So then I'm just kind of personally curious. I'll have to think about what we do tomorrow. home-ish, was it? Yeah, with the superhuman sprinters and stuff. Or just like, there's barely any of these things, but there's sprinters and they're terrifying. What do you do with this? I think the more annoying part is that you can just run around the city, and the city is empty, but at the same time, if you enter a random building, then you're swarmed with tons of Zeds. Yeah, I want the feeling of they could be kind of anywhere. Like, I always want to be a bit alert, but I don't think that's possible with these community maps. Like, I think I just gotta play a normal map. Which I guess is fine. I was really hoping I could play a map that I had no idea about. Yeah. Okay, yeah, giddy up. The thing that killed this was some of the vehicle stories are scripted to have like 4 or 5 Zeds in them, which for the superhuman sprinters is a lot of pain. Custom maps reminding you of the sleeper system and 7 Days to Die. Yeah, it's a similar concept though, but I don't know why they've got it so much. I kind of understand if they're going for a sort of deal where like, I really want this to be a scary area. Yeah, sure, fine, cool. You know, if you're doing, what's with all the trees there? If you're doing like the mall, yeah, you want to have a bunch there. You don't want it to be basically empty. That I get. But again, that mall, you don't start there. You never start there. You have to go out of your way to go there. And the mall is just on its own. It doesn't affect the neighboring zones or anything. Dude, there is no way. You'd be so fucked. Is this upstairs? Yeah, it is. There's no way you'd be able to. That'd be just immediate death. Ah, God damn it. It's less, finally. I mean, it's 10% of what it would normally want. It wants 12 in the zone. There's 53 of them currently, which is awful. 100% default. I used 100% default as a baseline when I was testing over the weekend. Still the scenario. Just finishing my Royalty Rimworld playlist on YouTube. Am I going to do an ideology run? Not currently planning on it, no. I'm, like, so burnt out and done with Rimworld. I wish I wasn't, but, man, it's just depressing to launch the game nowadays. I just get sad when I look at the main menu. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm keeping an eye out for keeping an eye on, and I've also got my eye out for other colony management games that may kind of sort of replace that itch or scratch that itch. So yeah, that's a shame. But like, if I go to a vanilla map. Let me see if I can remember which one it was that I went through. I think it was Riverside. I think. Hey, Rybam. Started with Prime Gaming. First month, thank you very much. Happy to have you. I think it was Riverside that I was on. We'll just go with the builder custom, I guess. Urban focused, yeah, sure. The settings shouldn't matter. We sort of proved that the settings don't matter too much. We'll keep an eye out for the pop-ins around normal buildings on vanilla. General debuggers. Moodlets. Ugh. You'd think I'd have this down to muscle memory by now. Not the case. So there were still a couple of buildings that seemed to have pop-ins, but they weren't that extreme at all. It was really just a few. And it wasn't many buildings. To the point where I thought it was just randomly selecting some buildings to have that as a thing. Like, one popped into there. But it happened infrequently enough that I thought it was just like, oh, it's just like a random handful of buildings or just, you know, a bit extra zetty. And I thought maybe that's like the stories type thing doing it. I turned those off and it still happened. Like, oh, okay. So maybe not then. Let me grab a car. I was waiting to catch me live to sub really early here in Brazil. What time do you get in Brazil? Is that oh, like 1 a.m. or something, isn't it? No, not that early, is it? It's like 5 or 6 a.m. I think. Give me that key. I could also just port, I suppose, to a different area. I noticed if you teleport too far away, there's a certain extent to where you can teleport, and if you go so far away, it like throws you into the earth or something, and you never get vision anymore. The lighting stops updating, and eventually you just can't move anymore. I've seen one building thus far where it spawned one zombie inside. Okay, I think that might be 2 buildings now. Spawned 1 each. But it's significantly less extreme. Random gunshot, you can see how many move around for that. It really rustles some jimmies. But if I were to teleport up here, is that too far away? Oh no, that works out. Well, look at that. It sounded like a bear just mauled a guy. It was odd. Thunderstorms also really rustle jimmies, like, in a really huge way. It's surprising. I didn't know thunderstorms had such an impact. They don't really move them much, but it bothers them a bunch. Well, get out of the way then. Come on, I'm looking up here. Jeez. Kids nowadays. Oh. Can I burst through, maybe? You think I can? That. A little bit of blood up there. Nah. We'll say no. We're in the city now, though. That spawned 1. Cities seem to be more apt to generate Zeds inside, which is fair enough. It's a city. But huge difference though, like I think I've proven my point. Like it is just a huge difference. In Raven Creek, I showed it yesterday at the start of the stream. Okay, there we go, that's a big pop. Ah, wow. Like a back room of the grocery store here. But, but they're definitely secured in there. You'd be okay to ignore them. Possibly by design. But with Raven Creek, because it's got these huge skyscrapers and every floor wants to have a bunch of Zeds on them to make it this really terrifying experience. It equates to like, what, 700? I think it was, one of the buildings was. 700 additional Zeds. It was disgusting. We got over to like 10 times the population cap that it wanted to have. Had I cleared the streets, it never would have respawned anything ever again. It would have been completely empty on the streets until I cleared out one of the skyscrapers. Multiples of the skyscrapers. Which requires probably just Molotovs and burning the whole building down, honestly. That would be so much ammo. At least 700 bullets. Aha. Basic maths. So yeah, I think I've proven my point. It's a strange thing that community maps seem to be doing. I don't know why. They need to not though, because it's actually a like honest problem. Like not even just me being like, I want to play a particular way, blah blah blah. It's like, no, this is a legit problem. And they need to stop. What have I done there? Shift click. Oh, I can draw my own paths. Huh. How would I get from here? Okay, not indoors though. How would I get around this building? Just like that. Interesting. So yeah, it's a problem. And I don't know why they're doing it that way. Man, you like never see the trailer. Like ever. Holy shit. Yeah, I think that's pathfinding debug. You just see the routes that they would take. So I think I wrap it up here. Point proven though. We might have to just rock a vanilla map. Which, yeah, fine. I can go with one that I don't really have memorized. And worst case, if I start to remember it, I can just pretend that I don't remember it. It's easy enough for me to do that, being like, I know where the workshop is, but would I actually know where it is? No. So I would try to put myself in a mindset of not knowing. And worst case, we can do it that way. I'd like to find a new map that I've never seen anything of and never played anything of that acted like a vanilla map. But I don't know if there's many out there for that. No idea. But oh well. We'll be back with some more of this tomorrow though. Bit of a shame you can't simply disable the hotspots for those maps. I think if I were to delve into the mod, thing about modding Project Zomboid, I could probably go into the mod and figure out what's what. But part of me kind of feels like it's like an embedded thing really deep in there, and I'd have to like super deep dive into the mod. I don't think it's as simple as just popping open something in Notepad++ and changing a few numbers around. Zomboid is Java? Actually, shit, it used to be Java at least. Not sure where or even is. Even is it? Hello? Yeah, Java. Still Java. Nice thing about Java, super fucking obvious when it's a Java game. Man. But I'd have to dive in. Maybe there's something that I could possibly find and set. I wouldn't imagine it'd be as easy as just Notepad++ing it and removing a couple variables like indoor hot zones equals 1. So I'll change that to 0 and be done with it. I don't think it'd be so basic. Maybe. I doubt it though. Strongly doubt it. Because somewhere they'd have to define where these buildings are. It seems to be the same buildings. Seems to be. We'll see. Yeah, I'd have to like go in and like really edit the map and probably draw something out and choose and bleh. But yeah, we can rock a vanilla map. It's such a shame though, but oh well.